Hey, Henry.
Hey, Rick.
All right. Tracking cost savings, something all of you are probably very familiar with. This is the ISM take on it. So, definition and organizational alignment. So, there's no universal definition for cost savings. It means different things to different people. But hard savings are usually cost reductions, lowering the price that's on the PO. Accounting loves this because it's easily measurable. Cost avoidance or soft savings is really more what we should be doing, but accounting hates it because it's hard to measure. Because what you want is the lowest price initially when you start buying the product, not reduce it over years. The event minimizes or avoids future price increase. Much more difficult to measure. Cost saving goals must be consistent with and support the organization's overall goals. So cost savings ideas must be developed and implemented, typically requiring a cross-functional team, not always, but better. Internal stakeholders must agree and support the cost savings project goals. And then here's the cost saving process according to ISM. So identify the opportunities in collaboration with the other internal stakeholders. Then develop and implement a project to achieve the savings. Develop a process for measuring the savings along with an audit feature, and report the savings to internal stakeholders. Now, these projects can be very simple projects. They really only have milestone steps to them. Governance. So supply management professionals are responsible for developing and managing the cost savings process. This includes things like identifying the opportunities, developing and implementing project savings, developing a process for measuring them, and reporting the savings to internal stakeholders, just what we were looking at here. Internal stakeholders must agree to and support the cost savings effort, which is for us engineering, usually, sometimes materials. Top management must determine how to create incentives for employees to engage in cost savings programs. Suppliers also need incentives. So reporting wise, top managers and internal stakeholders got to understand and trust the cost savings numbers. So if you just leave it up to purchasing, probably nobody will trust it. Effective cost savings reporting systems have three key elements. So supporting information systems, which would be your ERP systems, adequate staffing, and standardized valid metrics. So measures for cost reductions are typically measured as a change in the actual contract price or PO price. And cost avoidance can be measured against a baseline. So things like the average of the bids received, historical prices, budgeted prices. Usually what we would do with engineering in the new development stuff would be get in a baseline price through a cost cost disclosure document. So the supplier fills that out. And then every time there's a change, they fill out another one. So you can kind of measure engineering added this feature, so yeah, it costs more. Reporting system should have a process that requires approval by the internal customer as well as supply management executive. Audit and verification. So this is to lend credibility to the cost savings programs. Usually it's the finance guys that do the auditing, so they can provide the independent assessment. And in cost avoidance, supply management must also confirm using market information that the supplier did not overstate the amount of the savings, which is why accounting hates that kind of savings. So, questions. Which of the following answers would you consider a soft savings? Any guesses here? Soft savings.
Reducing the part that's still in development.
Yeah,
B.
that's right.
B.
B I'd go with. Yeah. Let's see what these guys do. Yeah, B it is. All right, got one more. So Maxime Germain is a category manager for Acme. One of his categories is aluminum extrusions, for which he has 5 suppliers. Maxime works with his procurement manager, consolidates these suppliers down to 2, and achieves a hard cost savings towards his goals. So just before the product's finished, the engineering manager notifies procurement that they cannot support the elimination of ABC Corp as an extrusion supplier because they have a couple of future projects critical to the company they are planning with that supplier, of course. Which of the cost savings process steps did Maxine violate that led to this situation?
B, identifying savings opportunities and collaborations with internal stakeholders.
Yeah, he probably didn't talk to engineering. He just went and charged ahead, which is usually a bad idea. And B it is. All right. There are 6 questions out there. Some of them look like they got some math, so go ahead and jump on them. I'll go over answers at 2:20 unless everybody raises their hand prior to that. All right, you guys might not be finished, but let's go over some answers here. Number one is Bravo. So what you're doing is you're subtracting the 500,000 payment and from the actual. for each year and then adding them up. Number 2 is Charlie. So this one's a little more complicated. This is one way to do it. So 42,000 minus 40,000, you go for the transportation costs, and you figure the 40 is what was supposed to be paid, but subtract the actual. And then you look at the other side too, which was the incineration costs. And you add those up. And then number 3 was alpha. Calculation is actual price reductions are 52.25 and 55 for 132. In addition, there's a penalty calculated as 3% of the total. And 186.8 will be the answer. I'll post this if you guys want to track through it and figure out each of the details. But remember, on these questions, they're long and involved. They take a while. They don't get any more points than any of the other questions out there. So spend about a minute on it, flag it. If you got time, you can come back to it. But there's no penalty for guessing either. Option B for number 4. This one's pretty involved, the way that they go about doing it. So they go year by year. And then year 3, and then year 4. I mean, they add them all up. 5 is delta. Looking for an exception here. And 6 is bravo, having the controllers work as a referee and judge. Any questions? All right. I will talk to you guys on Monday.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah.
One more week.